Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boys PD and Cal. Say what's up, gents.
What's going on?
Yo, ready to rock.
Hey, headlines. Damson Idris from the F1 movie is the thought they're saying that he may be the next Black Panther. And the reason why, in an interview, they asked him about it, and he played a little coy. The question is, would he make a good Black Panther? I'm going to talk of course, to the guys, the brain trust right here. What is your take on this, Petey? Can you elaborate briefly and tell us what you think about it?
Well, I do, I don't like the fact that he, was that they killed T'Challa. Um, I mean, I guess he's my height, so I can't complain about that. He could be a little taller though. Otherwise, I'm fine with the actor. The side note, I think at one point they wanted all the people in T'Challa, the Marvel people wanted all the people in T'Challa to talk with a British accent, and Chadwick Boseman said no. But anyway, that just to say, since he's a British actor, I'm okay with this. I just don't like the fact that it's going to be his illegitimate kid. I'm just not with that.
Yeah, say that again. He's not going to do what?
I don't like that it's going to be Black Panther's now going to be his illegitimate kid, and we're going to jump so far into the future for this.
Right. So let's just
we
so
go through
the rumor.
timelines and all that. No, we're talking about post Doomsday or Secret Wars where we change all this stuff over. Yeah, but we're not
Right.
going to jump to the future to get to the present. He can't be the. How old is he already?
Right. So what PD is saying is that the thought is that he will be the child that he had with uh, Lupita Nyong'o. He's
Yes.
going to be their child. They're going to age him up, and he will become the Black Panther. But I think they're saying Shuri will be the Black Panther in the current iteration of movies, and like you said, after that starts, he will become the new Black Panther or something like that.
They're talking about Black
Boo,
Panther 3.
Yeah,
boo,
which happens
boo,
after this iteration of the
boo,
Avengers movies and stuff like that.
When does
So
that
that
come out? You're
boo.
saying that Doomsday happens and then we get a Black Panther?
yeah, after Doomsday.
You say Gloomsday? Yes.
Doomsday.
Definitely will be. It's a
Cal, what's your
Doomsday
take on
Doom.
this?
I don't want this guy for the role. He doesn't have the bearing for the Black Panther. He looks like a kid, looks like he's just getting up to speed. Chadwick Boseman, as soon as I heard he was Black Panther, took one look, I was like, yep, that's going to work. Guy's got it. This guy, sorry.
Wow. I think they're playing it that he's taking over the role from his aunt. And of course, this is all conjecture, speculation,
Not his
rumors are going.
father. Not his father is taking the role over. He's taking it over from his aunt. Yeah, yeah.
So
That starts off real well. Yeah, okay.
so it is he's supposed to be a younger, more dynamic version of the Black Panther. He's not going to come in with years of experience and a presence just right
Mhm.
off the bat. So
Well,
hey, I think
how
it's a
but that's contradictory right there. He's going to be a more dynamic version of the Black Panther, but he doesn't have the experience or anything of the Black Panther. So, how do you square that? How are you more dynamic, lacking experience?
well, I mean, he's probably I put it the wrong way. He's younger. He's going to be coming into it as a younger Black Panther. He's learning the ropes. He's taking it over from his aunt. How they work that out, we're not sure. I think actually it's a funny thing they said that this script was that what's his name? Ryan Coogler wanted to work with, basically Black Panther dealing with his, growth, his father relationship with father figures. So this is something that may or may not be that would end up at the very end. But now that he's done so well with Singers, so well with the other Black Panther movies, I think Disney's going to let him do basically give him a lot of leeway in terms of how he feels he wants to explore. Um, so I mean, I think we need to look up one day and find out what exactly. He actually explained what he thought the plot of Black Panther 2 was going to be until when he passed away. So I think that would be something for us to probably look into. But yeah, right now I think I like him. I think I've seen the F1 movie. He's very dynamic. He's young. Yes, he's a rookie. He's coming up. And I think that's one of the things I may like about him. He's been in
That he's a
TV.
rookie, so he'll be cheap.
So I mean, if you want to say cheap, but I say I think sometimes you need to find a character and then develop the character, not right off the bat that all these other actors who were original Marvel characters, actors who took them from Robert Downey Jr. Thor, the guy who played Thor, Captain America. Those guys were not super expensive, but they developed over time and they become very, very popular characters. And I think you just have to give them a little chance, see what happens. That's all I'm saying. Give a
I
brother a
say,
chance, man. Give a brother a chance.
I say
Unless you
we
have
give
someone else
him.
better.
I say we give him a chance to play another character, and we get somebody with more regal bearing for Black Panther. It could be a younger Cap, but you got to look like a king. He doesn't.
Petey.
Me, all I have to say is what I said. No, I think at the same time you can't really do, you know, a Black Panther that's kind of working at it because at the same time there's no real time in there. It's when you take on the mantle outside of them doing it in the Avengers movie. I guess no, actually his father couldn't have been the Black Panther, but they had him as the Black Panther. He gets officially as king in the Black Panther movie, but he was already. If we go with the lore, when you get in there, it was just the person covering for T'Challa while he was young was still in there. And the last point when he takes it on the mantle and proves himself, he's there. He's right where he's at. And the only thing he wanted to do was challenge himself towards against the FF and then in the comics against Captain America also. But that's about he's pretty much there. So trying to have someone, be trained by the Dora Milaje and all that stuff just really no fun to do, and it's just kind of working with what you have, with them deciding to take on Chadwick Boseman's death as to throw it into fiction to have his character die, and then you're adding stuff in there that's gonna leave you in a bad way where you have to keep mentioning this stuff. Not we wouldn't forget Chadwick Boseman, but you just have to have it when you have to go through too much. You just want to do a good story. What's the story? You got Wesley Snipes in there. He's got to be a big villain. You got to figure out what you're going to do here, not to have someone who's stumbling and saying, "You're not your father." We hear that enough. Those are the worst things. With Spider-Man turning to Uncle Ben, "You're not my dad." It's like, that's your TV ABC special moment. Don't do it. It's no point. You're not Steve Rogers. None of that stuff. All that stuff goes to your ABC specials. Do this. You don't try to make him different or try to figure out his way. In his actions, he'll show how different he is. But we're dealing with what we have with the younger one or a newbie. Once he gets into the suit, he's supposed to be there. Just like with Shuri, they're supposed to be there. And let's just move on and get to what the story is going to be.
Okay, so here's some of the actors that they've mooted for the role. You've had Donald Glover.
No.
You've had Omari
Who?
Hardwick. Donald Glover, people have talked about.
Out of here.
They've
Wait.
talked about Omari Hardwick from Power.
No.
They've talked Derek Luke,
Oh,
Antoine
No.
Fisher.
No.
I've even heard Damon Wayans.
No. Hell no.
Damon Wayans is an old man.
The junior, sorry, Damon Wayans Jr. I mean, well, I heard someone say Michael Jai White was approached. I don't know how true that is.
Maybe for T'Chaka in another movie, in another time, in another universe. Not now. Too late now.
Yeah, you had now. Then other ones that they've talked about are David Washington, the son of.
No.
He's too short. Stop it. No chance of that.
So we also talked about John Boyega from the
No.
Star Wars trilogy.
No.
No, good God, no. Please, no.
What are we just like? What, every British Nigerian gets a shot at this? No.
And of course, probably one of the all-time favorites, and I think we talked about it. Aldis Hodge. Aldis Hodge.
But he's already too. He's been Hawkman, and now he's he's the detective. So that's a wash.
I like Aldis Hodge.
I like Aldis Hodge
But
also.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying we put that in there as our one of our guys. I had this other guy from what's the name, but at the same time they already used them for too much stuff now. Now we're gonna throw them in the Black Panther too. Like let the Alex Cross thing work out for him. You got it, and I want it to work out for him. Not say, all right, we're gonna throw him into make him the Black Panther now. He would be, but just not to disagree. He's definitely a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, well, he'll just do the same thing that what's his name? The guy in Last of Us, the guy who's Fantastic Four, you know. He's in all the
He's in all the stuff.
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal, and
Yeah,
I always like the people remember that he was Maxwell Lord. This is
yeah, exactly. So he's in everything. So you can't say it can't be. So look, right now, I guess we are all in agreement that Damson is Idris is definitely one of the top guys to be the Black Panther, right?
I didn't say he was a top guy. I just said I was okay with it. I think you're saying he's a top guy for
Well,
it.
I'm saying one of the top guys to do it right now. So
Well, I don't know if he's one of the top guys or he's just hot right now because he's in a movie that's well received.
that makes you the top guy. So if he's saying Marvel's already called him, Marvel's already
No,
called him.
see,
So,
I totally disagree with that because when Chadwick Boseman got the role, one, there was no talk of, hey, he was the top guy or anything of that nature. They were actively seeking somebody who could do the role. All right. And Chadwick Boseman, again, this is somebody who had great training as an actor. I still remember the first 3 films that I saw him in, he used a different accent in each film. Jackie Robinson, James Brown,
yes, and that's true.
And then in Gods of Egypt, he played tough and he used a different accent there. So this guy he was a great actor, a lot of range, which means when he was coming to be the Black Panther, he was like, okay, I have to act like somebody who's a warrior, but I also have to have the bearing and the demeanor of a king because that's what I'm going to do as well. So I don't need the guy who's hot right now. I need somebody who, when I look at him, is going to say, yes, that's T'Challa. Okay?
Okay.
I don't need somebody who just, okay, well, he's dark enough. We could definitely go with him.
Oh
No,
my gosh.
I need somebody who has the bearing of a king. That means he needs to be a certain height. He
What
needs to
about
have that. He
Aaron
needs to have
Pierre?
that height. Who?
What
No,
about Aaron Pierre?
shut your mouth, sir. Shut your mouth.
I'm
How
just
dare
I'm
you?
throwing out names that are out
And
there.
I'm going against.
But wait,
I'm the one who
hold on,
shouldn't be saying it. I'm going for color, and he is
No.
out of the box for not enough color.
Yeah.
I'm the
Whoa,
last person to say that.
We doing
I'm the last
colorism
person
now.
that's
We doing
supposed to say
colorism.
that
That's how
he
it
is
works now.
not. He don't got enough color for the black.
Oh my gosh, yo!
Well, hold on.
He's
Hold
in
on.
I
he's in
cannot
the cheetah
believe this
tribe. He's
conversation
in
is
the cheetah
delving into
tribe.
terrorism.
Hold on.
You gotta stop it.
The
You
white
got the
dark.
best
He's in the white
personality.
dark tribe.
Hold on.
Oh my gosh!
He's in the light dark tribe.
Oh my
Hold on.
goodness!
Aaron Pierre, correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't he already has a role as John Stewart for Green Lantern? So he's out of the mix altogether just from that.
I'm just throwing out the names that the people put down.
But
That's
he's got a role in a totally
and you're right.
different.
You're right.
He's in a totally different universe. That's number one. Number two, yeah, Petey, that was some borderline stuff, but it was funny.
It's not borderline.
It's not borderline. It went over the
I'm
line.
not supposed to say.
I'm
not supposed to say that, but I'm supposed to be for it. I'm against it.
Well, yeah, all right. So what about Caleb McLaughlin from the Stranger Things? Does he have enough melanin for you?
The little guy, the
brother from the thing,
the little boy from the show.
When he was young, he was little. He's not little anymore.
But he's skinny.
Oh my gosh, he's grown up, bro.
Look at this.
He's 5'8", man. He can't do it. Sorry.
I'm sorry, we can't do Ghost as the Black Panther. There is a. I'm sorry to say, it excludes me. That there is a color requirement. And
yes.
Chadwick Boseman is on that side of it.
Well, Africans are not all.
I know that. Yes.
Okay, so just so
you can have albino, but you wouldn't want to have an albino Black Panther. Okay.
What are you really going to try to make that argument? Africans are not. Oh, come on, man. Come on.
I'm just saying that we have to be a little bit more open to getting the best actor for the role.
Wow. You're going to the Ryan Gosling as the Black Panther now. That's where you're going.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not going that far, but I'm just saying I'm definitely not struck with color like you guys.
It's like, no, he needs to look.
For the Black Panther, yes.
He needs to have a certain look. Okay, same thing. If we were talking about freaking Thor, I would not expect Thor to be, Caleb McLaughlin. I expect this guy to look Nordic. I expect the Black Panther to look African.
Well, listen, I would say this, not even to be serious about it. One of the other big portions of Chadwick's performance is not only that his performance was good, they had the right directors on it. Whether I didn't like the movie, I didn't like the story, how the Russo brothers shot it. When it centered on a character, they focused on the character. When it's the Black Panther scenes, even when he's out of costume and he does the flip, those moments are so memorable. So it really was like, if you had any sort of thing and you see him flip, over the thing on the steps, and you're like, yep. And that look that he gave us, giving up, they as directors really kind of know how to showcase the moment in these kind of group things where you can focus on it. And it's hard to do. You don't always see people being able to do that. But when you saw, even when Tony Stark is fighting him and he does the thing, he's fighting the Winter Soldier and the thing with the arm, and then the Black Widow. I think the way they direct really kind of showcases everyone as they go through, and I think less so in Endgame, but it definitely in Infinity War because they had different sections, and every time you saw it. But that really showcased Chadwick Boseman what he could do because those scenes were done perfectly. And then when he shows up in Infinity War, you're just like, it's Black Panther again. So I don't want to shout out them because that was with the performance. They also know how to focus the camera on people. So just a shout out to them and Chadwick's performance too. And then those jokes actually from, what was it? The jokes was from who's that? Sinbad. He was like saying, "Where's my cheetah tribe?" He said, he said, "I go to the movies. I can't be in Wakanda. There's no group for me." And then it had a sad music playing at the end. So anyway, shout out to Sinbad who went through some stuff. So hope you feel.
Yeah, shout out to Sinbad. Well, I found the whole thing about what Ryan Coogler said would have been his idea for the second movie, and he said it would have been a father and son movie based off of the relationship with T'Challa and his son Toussaint, right?
All right, I'm out.
You know,
I'm out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Ryan Coogler said, I think he told us to Entertainment Tonight. He said it would have been a father-son story centered on T'Challa and his young son Toussaint. And it was a New York Times interview. He said it was absolutely nothing like the final film, and it would have picked up after T'Challa's 5-year disappearance in Avengers Endgame, while T'Challa was absent. His partner, Nakia, would have given birth to their son, Toussaint. In the script, T'Challa was a dad who'd had this forced 5-year absence from his son's life. The first scene was an animated sequence. You hear Nakia talking to Toussaint. She says, "Tell me what you know about your father." You realize that he doesn't know his dad was the Black Panther. He never met him. And Nakia is remarried to some Haitian dude. Then we cut to reality, and it's the night that everybody comes back from the blip, and you see T'Challa meet the kid for the first time. So I guess
you gotta say it like that.
Why would you do something like this? I don't understand this. Why would you want to tell this particular story, knowing how many kids grow up without dads, knowing how traumatizing that is, giving the kid a surrogate father, knowing that the real father is going to return, which is just going to create this needless conflict. Why is this the story that you want to tell? Why, Ryan Coogler? Why?
That was what's the name? That was Superman Returns. Was it Superman Returns?
Oh, good grief. That was worse.
So he said the movie would have been, the code name for the movie was Summer Break. And the movie was about a summer that the kid spends with his dad for his 8th birthday. And they would do a ritual where they go out into the bush and have to live off the land. But something happens and T'Challa has to go and save the world with his son on his hip.
So this is what they do when they.
So I wonder if he would make it with Shuri as a Black Panther.
No.
And the young Toussaint, which could be Damon, is learning the ropes.
No. And this sounds like it was some sort of Marvel thing that they do this script, and he's like, no problem.
This is what Ryan Coogler said, bro.
It's terrible.
So the guy who just made $1 billion, $2 billion.
Why is the chick leaving at the end of the Black Panther, and then they have a kid?
Why is he moosing? Why is he's the king of this nation? Why is he messing around with this chick, having unprotected sex, and not married to her? Knowing that good and well she could pop out the air at any given time. Why is he doing that? Irresponsible.
She didn't know that she had the air. He wanted to marry her, but she didn't. I guess she didn't want to.
See, this shows you do not understand how this stuff works. Okay, the king doesn't do this type of stuff because this chick right over here, any kid that she has and she's not married to him, this kid is a bastard. He has no rights to anything in terms of the kingship. But hey, let's play it like this modern nonsense at the end of the day. And what's worse, this is supposed to be an African kingdom. I know for a fact that they're not going to do this type of stuff, that the lineage is going to be this important. But hey, let's just rock with it because, this is Wakanda, and This is Wakanda in the United States somewhere. The hidden nation of Wakanda in the United States. Just dumb.
If you
Well, I
if you
say
know
Coogler
that,
had a
no,
good. I say, why are we dissing the director when he's done very well and we've
Because it's
liked many of his work?
stupid. Because what he decided to do was stupid. It was thoughtless and it was short sighted. And for all of the talk that these people talk about cultural relevance, blah, 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 they don't have enough common sense to know that these two should have been married.
yeah, that's the thing. You don't let her leave. Don't do whatever. Suppose why she left the rest of the thing to do some what stuff we don't know what she's doing, but she's still in the movie. So why is she leaving in there? I'm leaving away from all the cool stuff, but I'm a part of it. And then next, you know, hey, I've been off in Haiti and I had your kid. I ain't tell nobody. Like nobody knows. The grandmother doesn't know they had a kid. No, we the audience know. We think, oh, he lived on. No, you supposed to. She's just supposed to stay. You know the blip is going to happen, right? You're going to do another blip story, right? Because this is what the problem. That's why I say is it doesn't feel like he's selling that this is what he wanted to do. They said, hey, we want to do a blip story, so he's going to be gone. Come back and find the kid, and there we go. Because we got another Spider-Man had a blip story. Everybody had a blip story, so doing another planned on the blip story, and then they decided instead of that they're just going to kill him. So, but the problem is if you're going to knew it was a blip story, then have her stay, them coronated into a wedding, and the next know he's gone. You feel the weight of all that stuff from the last one, right? Because we didn't know he was going to die at the end of Infinity War. You have everything set up to do this, even though I wouldn't have wanted to do that in any way, because you got a lot of time to play around with him just as the Black Panther. He just became king. Now you're just trying to move everything forward so you can do this sort of story? Nah, I ain't with it. Sorry.
God damn it, bro. Yo, Ryan, you could add me to your staff. I'm down with the story. Whatever you want to do. These guys are just gonna drop out. All right. I'll put it in a resume. You guys want to put in a resume for you guys? Oh no, because you guys just want to insult the director. All right. So hey, I'm cool. Ryan, don't take no hits from
We
these
took
guys.
our resumes out. Now we can say whatever we want. Look, that is some straight. So there's no chance for us making it.
Yep, clearly not.
We have
You
a
guys don't understand the
we have a
concept of trying to
turncoat.
win.
We have a turncoat who was decided to leave us out there in the cold. But you got Denzel in this one, so he's not really, Denzel. You're not really ready to be the Black Panther, and then he says, "I am the Black Panther."
Oh,
Then
good grief.
cheers.
Good grief.
Yeah. Well, they're saying Denzel is playing a villain, so I don't know if that's true.
That's what I
You know what
said.
they
I
are?
just said that. He said
No,
everybody's
they
playing
need
a
to get
villain. I
that
didn't
dude
say he
from
was being a bad guy.
get
That's
that
what you
dude from
said. Oh,
Sinners in there. Get the dude from Sinners in there. Have him play the banjo.
or this may be a good thing because then we get David Washington,
Why? Why? Because he got Denzel in there.
his father's son. Yeah, bring them in together, bro.
Oh my god!
And why do we want that?
And his son is smaller than the father. So what do
What's
you?
with you in this height business, man? You
It's
guys are stuck on
Because
important.
height.
you
Yo, I'm a
because
very
you
tall guy
need
myself, and yeah, I don't focus on height the way
If
you
you were
guys do.
tall, you wouldn't be complaining. Why do we have to talk about height?
yeah. Look, it's just a matter. Look, it's just the way it is. You got more height, you have more bearing. Okay, you have more height, you have more bearing. That's just it. That's art. Going back to ancient times, the bigger figure was the more important figure in the art. It's the same thing over here. Okay, yes, you can have a king who's five. You can have a king who's 5 feet tall. All right, but the king who's 6 feet tall has more bearing.
And you
Okay,
don't
look, we're gonna have to disagree with that. But
you want
listen,
to
and
have
so
Black Panther smaller than Spider Man.
I'm not saying that. So, hey guys, so what are your
And,
thoughts?
wait,
Damson,
hold on. Go back to that right over there. What he said right there is a really good point. Okay, does Spider-Man have the same bearing? The same bearing if Spider-Man is 6'5" and thickly muscled? No, he comes across all wrong. He comes across all wrong at the end of the day. The Spider-Man that has the bearing and endears to us as an everyman is the Spider-Man who's leaner, slighter in stature. Those things make the character work. It's no different with the Black Panther.
okay, we'll go on from there. So, guys, we just make sure that we are all in agreement with everything. Damson Idris, we are saying yes. Let's give the guy a chance. If he is the next Black Panther, we'll go for it. Two, the story of him either having a father, son, or uncle, aunt, son is a good idea because we like what Ryan Coogler said before. His father's son adaptation for the possible Black Panther 2 movie. And hey, we like that David Washington could also become the potential Black Panther with his father, Denzel Washington, being part of the movie.
Why do you keep bringing that up?
So we agree or not?
No. Why do you keep bringing that up?
Hey,
We're
probably he's trying to secure the bag for his son. Who knows?
We're trying to close the show out, and then you keep throwing these parting shots, and then expect we're just going to take it. Let it go.
Yes, take it.
No, not taking it.
Okay,
Also,
then.
that's the thing. You can also, even though he's supposedly dead, Claude turns into a person of full sound.
I'm
You
not going to
can
do
bring
that.
back that villain character. You can bring that to do the whole visual, the right visual of Claude, not the half Claude that he was introducing. The Claude that's been a villain for who knows how long.
Yeah, they're not going to do it.
All right, gents. So let's close this out. Hey, if you like what you hear, give us a thumbs up, comment, support us, spin a rack.
We're out.
We are on you. Let's see.